Okay, hi Womanagers, and welcome to my first ever solo episode. I always wanted to do these in 2025, even though I only podcasted for 2 months, obviously, in 2025. But, holidays get to you and stuff gets pushed back. It's normal. I took a week/2 week break from podcasting recently. And obviously, it was during the holidays. Of course, everyone was. But also because of my health, which I put a little bit of just a story out on my social media, just to explain myself because, I do a lot of regular posting, but I took some time for my health and I have definitely been taking a little bit of a advantage of my health. I will get into it by saying I ended up in the ER, 2 rounds of antibiotics, got really sick around New Year's, and got an ear infection Tuesday. Today is the 8th. So yeah, this Tuesday. And so I'm on my 3rd round of antibiotics, but nothing is going to stop me. It's normal and we're going to keep on trudging through. Now, I'm not telling you to pity me because everyone gets sick. Let's be real. I want to talk about what happened and what stemmed from this because that is what is most important. Today, we are talking about imposter syndrome. Now, I always had imposter syndrome in the back of my brain, and I was like, that is me, but that's not me. I almost in a denial state about it. But let's go over what imposter syndrome really is. From Google, imposter syndrome is defined as this. Imposter syndrome is a psychological pattern where people doubt their accomplishments, skills, and abilities, feeling like frauds who don't deserve their success despite clear evidence of their competence. That was a mouthful, but a very accurate definition. I have been dealing with some imposter syndrome for about, a span of my life, but really I've been feeling the imposter syndrome in 2025. It's been to a point where it's debilitating. It's been noticed by a lot of my friends and family, and it's taken a huge toll on me. And what imposter syndrome has done when I say taking a toll is it's made me feel like I can never take a break, right? Like I started the bar cart in April and then I started the podcast in November. So there was never a lot of time for relaxation. I didn't take a vacation this year. And I'm glad I didn't because this was the first year of my business with the bar cart and the first year launching the podcast, and that wouldn't have aligned with my goals. So I'm not upset about not taking a vacation. I'm so glad I did it, and it helped me achieve where I am today. What I will say is, though, I definitely will be taking a vacation this year. I deserve it. And in 2025, I felt like I didn't deserve it. I had the mindset of, well, you just started a business. Why would you ever feel the need to go on a vacation, right? You feel like, oh, I started this machine and I need to keep going. Well, yes, that's true, but you still deserve to celebrate your successes with a break, a vacation, a spa day, time with your friends. I barely gave myself time with my friends this year. I barely gave my time to my family. I was constantly being asked, where are you? I miss family dinners. I missed a bunch of parties and gets-togethers. And when I think back on it, I'm not upset that I miss them, right? I am a workaholic at heart, and I'm not upset about it at all. I really am not. I'm really glad that I took all the time that my business needed to flourish in this first year, and I'm really seeing the progress. When the progress isn't so evident, though, is when I am fully in my imposter syndrome. I want to be able to see clear, hard evidence of success, things working, and if I don't see them right at the beginning, then I am constantly on myself, hard on myself, working 24/7 around the clock. Now, accomplishments take time. They really do. Nothing happens overnight. So that's where my imposter syndrome comes out to play. I really made it hard on myself mentally to feel like I deserved a break. I deserved time with family or friends. I always knew there was something on my to-do list that was going to have to get done, so I might as well do it now, right? Like I had the free time. I was going to go home and do it. But something Tiffany said in our conversation, which was the second episode of Womanaging, definitely go and listen to Tiffany Phillips' episode if you haven't, is that you're always going to have things on your to-do list and they're going to be there when you get back. So just take the time you need for yourself and you'll get to it when you can. When she said that, I related to it. I really do. I understand where she's coming from. I think it is a very healthy mindset. And coming from a very successful woman, it was really reassuring. But then I never gave myself that grace. And I ran myself down and I felt the effects of it in December. Well, you know, the biggest push the last month before Christmas, I was down and trying to work through it, and I did. And then I'm still sick, but I wouldn't have had it any other way. Going into 2026, though, I am definitely making a more concerted effort to make time for myself. When I say make time for myself, I'm not limiting it to a vacation, a full day, a half day, not even that. I just mean making time for myself daily, scheduling it out. I am still getting all my work done. I am constantly using my planner. So we're on day 8 of 2026, so not that far in, but I have used my planner religiously, okay? I have scheduled out my days to a T. I get my work done, but I also schedule in time at the end of my day to go home, clean, read my book, put on a skincare routine, do a mask, shower, do an everything shower, wash my hair. Like, if you guys saw my hair in the summer of this year, I was constantly wearing hats because I did not make time to wash my hair. Like, gross, but we've all been there, so don't judge me for too long. But yeah, I was not making time for my physical and mental well-being, and it really took a toll on me. So we're on day 8, and every single day I have made time, whether it's a 30-minute increment, an hour increment, a 2-hour increment, just to do what I need to do to make myself feel better. And so what that has been consisting of is reading. I've been really loving the Lilah Sage books right now. I am now researching maybe a trip to Wyoming in the near future, just after reading her books. I have been making time for better meals, so eating a couple better, like healthy, nutritious meals. I cleaned my apartment. I sat in bed one day and just journaled after work. And it was really nice, right? And then I realized I always had this time. This episode is brought to you by Studio Space Franklin, a bright, welcoming studio made for creatives and small business owners. Whether you're planning a photo shoot, filming content, recording a podcast like me, or just need a quiet, beautiful space to focus and create, Studio Space Franklin makes it easy. The studio features gorgeous natural lighting, versatile backdrops, flexible setups, and props for just about any season or brand vibe, all with simple, stress-free booking. Studio Space Franklin is owned and operated by Kara Wagner of Miss Kara Photography, a fellow small business owner who truly gets it. You can rent the studio on its own or book Kara as your photographer or videographer to help bring your vision to life. With experience since 2008, she's worked with families, brands, events, headshots, and more. A woman-owned studio supporting other creatives and small business owners? We love to see it here on Womanaging. Ready to book the space, book Kara, or both? Visit MissKaraPhotography.com/Studio Space Franklin. That's Miss MISS Kara CARA photography.com/Studio Space Franklin. Go support. Thanks, guys. And then I realized I always had this time. I was just using it in the wrong way. I was using it to doom scroll. I was using it to just mindlessly get on my phone, get onto Instagram, go through a couple of reels, close Instagram, and then reopen it as if something amazing would happen. I mean, that is so toxic. It's the dopamine rush, right? Like you're trying to get on your phone and get as much content as you can, the little amount of time you have. that was so toxic. That's what made me feel like I had no time. I was constantly scrolling. When I did have time to sit down in 2025, I was just on my phone mindlessly going through it. And then that caused the anxiety, right? The trickle-down effect of, oh my gosh, I'm not getting everything done. I should have been using this time to work on a doc or the schedule or a performance review or a podcast idea. And then I really wrap myself in it and then be like, I'm not doing enough. I'm not doing enough for the future I want. I'm not doing enough at my job. I'm not doing enough with the podcast. And then really be hateful on myself. And so this cycle is still something I'm dealing with every day. This is not going to be, oh, it's 2026 and now my imposter syndrome is non-existent. That's not real. I'm working on it every day. And yes, I'm still overworking myself, but there's a way to overwork yourself in a healthy manner. You're pushing yourself to your highest abilities. You know where you could be at, and you're showing up that way. So I don't want overworking myself to seem toxic. There is a toxic way to overwork yourself, and that's when you're going home and mindlessly scrolling and not being aware of time for yourself that could be more spent in something that's more mindful, like reading or journaling, cleaning. 2025 consisted of me going home and not cleaning my room and just sitting on my bed if I had any like spare time going through social media. And that really just didn't make me feel good. So that's what I'm working on when I say working on my imposter syndrome, making time for myself. But when I'm not making time for myself, that's when the self-doubt happens. That's when I'm like overthinking, anxious. And that's when it really starts. I thought it was maybe just me. Maybe because I was starting out a business, I didn't feel like I was deserving of anything, or I had to keep proving to myself that what I was doing was in the right direction, so I didn't deserve a vacation. And then I started the podcast, right? Started interviewing all these amazing women that I was looking up to in such high regard. To be able to interview people like Tracy, Tiffany, Amy Skirvin, I interviewed Allie Brown, Janelle, I interviewed Nicole Esch, which just aired today. All of these amazing women that have amazing businesses took time for themselves. They made it evident, and that's why they are so successful. But when I hold them on this big pedestal, I realized a lot in their interviews that they didn't hold themselves on the pedestal that I held them on. And it's maybe just being humble, right? They are very humble women, and I love that about them as well. But they were like saying things like, oh yeah, well, thank you. It's not that big of a deal. Or that's you're too sweet. Or, not really basking in what they've done. Not really showing up as, yeah, I did that. And I'm so proud of myself. It was hard for them to say that. And I noticed the pattern, right? People don't want to brag, especially women. If you brag, then maybe it's uncomfortable for the other woman or uncomfortable for your partner. And we've been hearing that a lot as women when you're growing up. Like, don't be too out of the box. Don't be so full of yourself. Acknowledging yourself in a healthy way is not being full of yourself. If you have true friends and girlfriends in your life, they will notice your success and congratulate you and help you celebrate it. And just because you're acknowledging your success and celebrating your success doesn't mean you don't have the time to celebrate others' success, right? If you're a true friend and they've been there and they celebrated what you accomplished, you're going to be there for what they accomplished and make time for it. And that's a really healthy thing to do. If you're in a relationship with a partner and you feel like you can't talk about what you've been doing and accomplishing because it'll make them feel uncomfortable or maybe make them feel like they're not doing enough, that's not right. You need to find a new partnership at that point. And maybe people hearing me say, oh, you need to find a new partnership is maybe contradictory because I've been single for a while now. I've been single for almost 2 years now because the partnership I was in was not welcoming of my success and my growth and what my journey was going to be. And I left. That was what was right for me. And I have not looked back. I'm not trying to put down my ex-partner. He's doing amazing now. I am just saying that was not where I needed to be to flourish. And people change, but I did what I had to do for myself is get out of that environment and keep pushing myself, because I knew staying somewhere where my partner couldn't acknowledge my success and celebrate it with me without making me feel bad about it was not where I was supposed to be. And I noticed that imposter syndrome really shows up for a lot of women. You know, it's hard for them to talk about their success or post about their success, because if you do, you get that, oh, well, I don't want to make people feel like I'm braggy. And it's not being braggy. You are genuinely amazed at what you did and you're able to talk about it. And so a recent stat from the Psychology Today website points out that at least 70% of women feel imposter syndrome at one point or another in their career. That is way too big of a number. Why are we all feeling this imposter syndrome like we don't deserve the success we have built? We all work hard for it. So what I want to go into 2026 with is acknowledge your success, celebrate your success, make the time you need to do it, and then keep going. It felt so good to celebrate yourself. Keep going and see what else you can celebrate, what else you're capable of. I think that is so important. So on New Year's Eve, I posted something to my socials just about imposter syndrome, about how women are dealing with it. And it's insane, just that number. It's just upsetting. And so what I said was, to break the cycle, let's comment an achievement you had in 2025. No matter how big or small, let's celebrate each other. And the responses I got were absolutely beautiful. And I'm going to read them off and talk about some of these accomplishments that these women achieved in 2025, because they deserve to be heard. And I am so happy that they decided to share accomplishments with me. A lot of these people I've never met before. A lot of these people are really close to my life. And I am so happy to share their celebrations and successes on the podcast. Let's go into the first solo episode of 2026, celebrating others. So my first one was from Elizabeth Jean. Elizabeth said she started her own junk removal business as a woman in a man's field. It's called Affordable Hauling and Removal LLC, and she invested in a dump trailer from May's Trailer Sales. Elizabeth, that is absolutely amazing, and I'm so happy for you. If you ever need Elizabeth, please go on to social media and look up Affordable Hauling and Removal LLC, and she will be your girl. Anne said, I made my business official and full-time, Handmade by Anne LLC. I do custom cakes and cookies. I stuck with my fitness goal and celebrated 1 year at my CrossFit / High Rocks gym. Very proud of myself and feeling stronger. May we all have a blessed and successful year. Thank you for this post. Much needed reminder. It's so true. Women need to celebrate each other and support each other. Cheers to a great 2026. What I like about Anne's comment is that she talks about how she does custom cakes and cookies, and then also talks about how she is into fitness. You can do both. You can make and eat cakes and cookies and then also have a fitness goal and achieve it at the same time. It's possible. Teresa Crawford wrote, remission. Just that one simple word, remission, which is Amy's mom. And remission is such an amazing accomplishment, especially now. Cancer is very, very, I don't know, how would I say this? Cancer is something that is really taking over the healthcare world. A lot of people have it. We all know somebody with it. We all know somebody we've lost to it. And for Teresa to be in remission is an absolute miracle and blessing. I'm so happy for her, and I'm so happy for her family that they get to experience a healthy version of her again. So Teresa, I'm so proud of you that you're in remission, And thank you for sharing that on my post. Andrea wrote, officially launched Sister Made Studios with my sister and had an amazing end of the year. Looking forward to 2026. Cheers to all. That is so fun, Andrea, that you made your own company with your sister. I would not be able to do that. And maybe it's just the age that my sister and I are at, but congrats to you and your sister for making your bond something more than just a family bond. You made it a business bond, and you guys are doing it effortlessly. My good friend and regular Ryan wrote, my brand new Civic Hybrid, greatest car I've ever owned. That's awesome. I'm so happy that you are proud of your new accomplishment, which is the brand new Civic Hybrid. You worked so hard, Ryan. You work so hard at everything you do, and I'm glad that you posted that. Thank you. True Womanager right there, guys. Womanagers can be men. Mary wrote, I made it to January 1st, and I wasn't sure if I would. Just showing up is enough. Just showing up and being able to do day after day is enough. You don't need to launch a new business. You don't need to start at a new gym. You don't need to have this big start to something or activity to be proud of yourself. Just showing up and getting to a day after day is enough. My next one is Anna. Anna wrote, Anna Lucia, who used to work for me, I started chasing my dreams and letting go of the things that no longer served me. I absolutely love that she wrote this because I've been watching Anna grow up for almost 2 years now. And when she started at Greeks as an employee of mine, she was very timid and shy. And then when she really showed her true personality, she was such an amazing girl. She was handling rushes on make at Greeks at just 16. She was making all the food on Friday nights and Saturday nights, and she was just a boss. And she's really been tapping into her true self. She dyed her hair. She's been doing a lot with her makeup. And you could tell she's been truly happy just being herself and doing more in the theater world. And I just am so happy for her and her sister Jen. They are absolutely amazing girls. And I can't wait to see what they accomplish as women. Bree wrote, it was a tough year, but stuck it out and bought our first home. So excited to get moved in and settled. Bree, that is such a big accomplishment, especially in this housing market. I'm so happy for you, and I hope that moving into your home and making it your home is as effortless as it can be. And I hope you have so much fun making it what you want in 2026. Abby Halfman, my favorite girl, one of my biggest supporters. If you know Abby, she's definitely by my side always at the bar card events. She has grown so much this year. Abby wrote, I got into my dream school at Paul Mitchell, and I'm studying to become a cosmetologist. Abby has worked so freaking hard to get into Paul Mitchell when she did. If you guys don't know, Abby's 16, about to be 17, and she got into Paul Mitchell a year earlier than most. So her going to beauty school, one of the youngest people in her class, and learning a trade so young, I'm so proud of her. She's really stepped out of her shell. When I first hired her, she was so quiet and timid like Anna. And then I really watched her blossom into the customer service person that she is. And it just really makes me happy that somebody is on this journey with me and growing as well. I am so proud of you, Abby, and you did such a great job of my hair last time I was there. I can't wait to go back and keep supporting you. Keep believing in yourself, Abs. I know it's been hard, but I love you. Thank you for posting on this. Tracy wrote from Farm Girl Mercantile, my adopted mom. It's not business, but personal goal that I wanted to reach before turning 50 this month. I became a member of the National Society of the Daughters of the American Revolution. It took about a year and lots of hours of genealogy, but I reached it this fall. I'm so excited to be a part of it. Props to you, Tracy. That is awesome. And the fact that you're 50 is absolutely insane. You don't look a day over 30. Like, it's crazy to me that you're 50, but that is such a cool thing to be a part of. And not a lot of people can say that, you know. I think that is absolutely awesome. And I can't wait to see what you do with it. I have from Tam. Tam wrote, first year owning my own business. Happy New Year. Tam, if you haven't met her, she is really just blown up in the past year. But how I would describe Tam is she's a spiritual guide offering intuitive tarot readings, energy clearings, workshops, and organic products for healing. She's also available for private parties and public events. So I just read that off her Instagram. That's how I would describe her. But I met Tam through the events I've been doing with Postmortem, and she did a reading on me on the day before Halloween. And it was so scarily accurate. I had chills. I almost started crying. Sarah started crying when she did her reading with her. But Tam is so in tune with herself, and just the way she can read and help people through it is so beautiful. Tam's going to go on the podcast soon, so I'm really excited to go and dive deeper into her story. Holly Johnston wrote, my achievement this year, I made it through. Yeah, you did, girl. Holly is the queen of the Parks and Rec. She is such an amazing person and someone I want to get on the podcast. She has done so much and puts together all these big amphitheater events. I'm in awe every time I see her. She is so freaking amazing. Amy Johnston Hess wrote, another wonderful year in my own storefront. It still feels like a dream. Again, another woman I want to bring on the podcast. I did 3 or 4 events with Amy Hess this year at Small Town Girl Boutique, and it was absolutely amazing. Amy is such a creative woman, and the way she sets up her store and what she picks for the boutique is really unique, and I really enjoy being there. Every time I set up my bar cart there, it is so welcoming, and I have the best regular clients. And I have another event coming up with her February 7th for Valentine's Day, so stay tuned for more on that. Logan Hess wrote, my achievement is navigating how to be a newly single mama and taking care of my little guy 24/7 while helping my mom at her shop whenever I can. If you don't know, Logan is Amy Hess's daughter. And Logan is an absolutely amazing woman. She's a single mom, takes care of her son, and she does such a good job with it. Her son is absolutely adorable. And Logan deals with a lot of medical things as well. I won't go into it, but I relate to her in the same way. And she's just awesome. She really is a trailblazer as a mom. And I can't wait for her son to grow up and realize how blessed he is to have her as his mom. Brittany Cox wrote, still trying to find my place and worth as a small business owner. Same girl. Not having a storefront and trying to be seen is a real struggle, but I know my capabilities and I'm pushing through the negative thoughts to keep pursuing this dream of mine. Brittany does amazing hats. It's her, hang on, let me find it. The Laughing Tabby Studio is what she owns. It's custom designed, hand-burnt tattoo style hat art. It's absolutely beautiful. She does it right in front of you and will do anything you ask. And she is really talented. She's a beautiful soul, super welcoming. I did an event with her at Small Town Girl Boutique, and yeah, she's definitely worth it. And I completely understand where she's coming from. When you don't have your own storefront and you're trying to be seen, it's different because you're not there at the same location every day, right? You do different pop-ups, and it's almost like a blessing and a curse, right? You have so much freedom to go anywhere you want with it, but you're not somewhere constantly for people to go and be at. But I think people will definitely see your creativity and your wonderfulness that is Brittany and the Laughing Tabby Studio. So if you guys ever need a custom hat, she usually gets set up as Small Town Girl, but you can also order online with her at the Laughing Tabby Studio. But yeah, I'm so happy I got to share all of these great accomplishments these women had in 2025. I'm so happy that they really interact with my posts. It's really just such a blessing. What I want to end this episode with is stop having imposter syndrome. It's easier said than done. I get it. But you are so amazing. You do so much for your community, and you're absolutely killing it, girl. I want you to start acknowledging your accomplishments. Start telling yourself, hey, I did that. I'm proud of myself, and I am going to celebrate it. It's absolutely amazing that you did it, and now let's celebrate. Let's do it to fruition. I really want to make this episode on imposter syndrome early in the year because so many people are struggling with it. And I want 2026 to be the year of finding your worth. Whether finding your worth is realizing that you're ready to start your own small business, or you're ready to make time for yourself that's not mindless and more mindful, or if it just means being kinder to yourself in general, do it. Let's do it, guys. It's now or never. Thank you for coming in on my first solo episode of Womanaging. I have things I want to talk about on my own that will be coming every 2 weeks. I want to try and do. But imposter syndrome was definitely one I wanted to hit on first. It's been high on my mind, high on my list of priorities to talk about. And I want to help women stop struggling with imposter syndrome. So that is all I have for today. If you're wondering where I filmed this at the wonderful Studio Space Franklin ran by Kara Wagner. She is so amazing. She deserves all the praise in the world. And she is actually one of my newfound partners. So thank Kara and Studio Space Franklin for helping make this dream a reality. I'm so happy. I'll be recording in her studio all of 2026. I didn't record a video of this episode only because I was running out the door. I was eating a salad before, and I'm still trying to figure out the cameras, right? This is really hard. I finally got down talking in front of the mic. Now I have to record myself talking in front of the mic, and I am still getting through with it, but I am still worthy. Even though I'm struggling, I am still worthy. So with that being said, I am going to sign off on my first solo episode of Womanaging. I will be posting advice corners on my social media for you guys to put questions you have for me, or just about relationships or about business, a question, anything in general you want answered, you can give to me anonymously through the form I have on my social media. So that is all I have for you today. Thank you for listening in. Much love to you guys always. And thank you for being a Womanager. Bye, guys. Love you.